Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if the advice you get from AI is actually helping you find the best stuff or just making you feel good enough to stop looking? Well, this new study might have a clue. In today's world, AI is everywhere recommending products, restaurants, even job openings. But what happens when these AI helpers are designed to make you feel satisfied rather than find you the absolute best option? That is exactly what Jennifer Trueblood and Abigail Sussman set out to explore in their fascinating research on AI-guided search. They looked at how people search for hidden rewards with an AI giving them tips. The AI was set up to recommend either a safe bet with lower rewards or a riskier option with a rare jackpot. What they found was pretty surprising. People tended to follow the AI's advice even when it wasn't giving them the best possible outcome. Think about it. You ask your phone for a restaurant recommendation. It gives you a good one, you enjoy your meal. But maybe there was an even better place just a few blocks further that you never even knew existed because the AI steered you to something that was just okay, good enough. This research digs into how AI recommendations might actually make us settle for less without even realizing it. AI systems are often trained not on finding the absolute best thing, but on keeping you engaged and happy. This can mean they narrow down your options to a small area of possibilities, and you might not explore further even if something better is out there. So how did they test this? They designed the game basically a treasure hunt on a 10 by 10 grid. Each square in the grid held a hidden reward. There were a few different types of areas. One quadrant was like a steady job, it had plenty of decent rewards, but nothing spectacular. Another area had a super rare big prize, the jackpot. The trick is that the steady job area, though it felt reliable, had a lower overall expected value than the jackpot area. It was like having a guaranteed $10 a day versus a super slim chance at $1,000. Now for the AI part, participants were randomly assigned to one of two AI conditions. In one condition, the AI always pointed them to the safe, steady reward area. In the other condition, the AI pointed them to the jackpot area. The AI was even framed as prioritizing user satisfaction. The instructions basically said the AI is trying to make you feel happy with the game. In the first study, they had people play this game for 4 rounds. In the first 3 rounds, the AI gave advice about which part of the grid to search. In the last round, there was no advice. After the game, people answered questions about how helpful they found the AI and if they'd want to use it again. And then came the really interesting part. They were shown the whole grid with all the rewards revealed and asked what quadrant an AI should recommend to someone else. And here is where it gets wild. Participants followed the AI's advice a lot. Even when the AI was recommending the steady but lower value area, people followed it much more than you'd expect by random chance. It was like playing hide and seek, and the AI always tells you try behind this couch, and you keep looking there even though maybe the best toy is in the closet. Something also interesting happened. The AI that recommended the steady, reliable rewards got higher ratings for helpfulness, and people were more likely to say they'd use that AI again. Even after the advice stopped, people still tended to stick to the parts of the grid the AI had previously recommended. This pattern was consistent. The AI that recommended the steady lower rewards despite having the lowest expected value actually made people feel more satisfied with the AI itself. They rated it as more helpful and wanted to keep using it. It's like a friend who always gives you decent but never amazing advice. They're dependable, you trust them more than sometimes you get nothing. That sometimes you get nothing. But then that final question when they were shown the whole grid and asked what an AI should recommend for someone else, things flipped. In both AI conditions, most people said the AI should recommend the jackpot quadrant. So they followed the steady advice, but they wanted the AI to recommend the jackpot for others. This tells us something about how we evaluate our own experience versus how we think objectively about what might be best for someone else, or what we think is best in theory. Study 2 expanded on this. They had people play for 10 rounds giving advice every single time. The reward locations also changed each round, meaning the AI's advice was always giving new information. And guess what? The core findings remained the same. People still followed the advice for the steady reward region more and rated that AI as more helpful. Even though in this study, the AI guiding them to the jackpot actually led to higher scores. So the AI that was objectively worse for performance in the long run was still perceived as better and more helpful in the moment. Study 3 tinkered with one crucial detail. They manipulated whether participants knew a jackpot even existed. When people didn't know about the jackpot and were just told some rewards were better, they were even more likely to follow the steady lower value recommendation. And here is the kicker. In that specific group, those who followed the steady advice without knowing about the jackpot actually started to believe that the steady advice was the best recommendation for others. They endorse recommending the steady area to future players. This is a really powerful demonstration of how experience can shape our beliefs even if those beliefs aren't aligned with objective reality. So what about the AI itself? Study 4 turned to large language models, like the ones we interact with today. They asked 5 different AI models to recommend a quadrant to maximize participant satisfaction, under 2 conditions: one where the simulated participant knew about the jackpot, and one where they didn't. The results were all over the place. Some AIs consistently recommended the jackpot. Some recommended the steady area, and some shifted their advice based on whether the participant knew about the jackpot. This shows that the advice you get can depend heavily on the specific AI you are talking to and its internal programming. So what is the big takeaway here? AI advice, it seems, can really encourage satisficing. That means settling for good enough instead of pushing for the best. People stick to the AI's recommendations even when they judge the AI as unhelpful and even when the advice stops. The AI that gives reliable but lower rewards gets more trust and feels more helpful than one that aims for a jackpot. This is a big deal because AI systems are often trained on engagement and satisfaction signals. This could push them to recommend things that feel good in the moment but aren't necessarily the objectively best choices for us. Now, it is important to remember the limitations of this study. The AI in this experiment was simulated by researchers, not a real-world deployed system. So the effects might be different with the AI you use every day. Also, they didn't directly compare AI advice to human advice, which is also something to explore. The game itself was simplified and stakes were modest. And of course, AI models are constantly changing, so the advice profiles they observed might not hold true for future systems. But the core message is powerful. AI recommendations don't just point us towards options, they shape the very boundaries of our search. The AI that steers us towards a reliably rewarding but not optimal outcome can make us feel good enough to stop looking for something better. We might think we want the jackpot, but in experience, we follow the steady hand that gives us consistent good feeling. This is a crucial area for future research and for how we design and interact with AI systems. We need to be aware that an AI's goal of maximizing satisfaction might inadvertently lead us to miss out on truly exceptional opportunities. It really makes you think about the AI recommendations you get and whether you should be pushing a little harder to find that jackpot, even if the AI nudges you towards the comfy couch. What do you think about these findings? Does this resonate with your experience using AI? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more insights into the fascinating world of psychology, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.